Hello, welcome to Podcasting Unboxed, your comprehensive podcast startup guide. My name is Jenny Benitez, and I am so excited that you've decided to purchase this guide and get into podcasting. This podcast guide has been produced by Steel Roses Women and Benitez Communications and Consulting. The goal of this guide has a very unique goal. It's to really break down and level set each of the granular steps to really get your podcast started and up off the ground. You will see many guides out there that focus in on content. There are some guides that are a little bit more broad and they will allude to the steps that are needed, but they don't really dig into the details of it. And that is where I've seen a lot of people actually have a lot of anxiety around it. I mean, me personally, I have anxiety around the technology of things, and you will see throughout the guide, I talk about how much testing and how many demos I do for myself just to make sure that I'm comfortable with what I'm about to embark on. So in the guide itself, there are two main sections. You have your basics quick start section, which is the top section. That's really meant to be your go-to for, I want to get this podcast off the ground. I already know what I want to focus in on. How do I actually get there? And it navigates you through those steps, the minimal amount of things needed as well. When I started podcasting, I didn't really want to put a lot of money into investing behind this. I didn't have a lot of money to put into it. And so it really gives you that baseline, like you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars. You don't have to spend a ton of money monthly. Like there are steps that you can take to really do things free and go minimum until you really get up and running and you're feeling more comfortable and confident with what you have to do. Part 2 of the guide is diving into the details. Now this section is really things that I have picked up professionally, that are project management steps that will help you actually maintain more organization for your podcast and the podcast elements that you're producing. It is incredibly important to be organized when you're podcasting so that you can revisit information and content that you've produced in the past should you want to pull it together for anything in the future. Having that mindset of, well, let me set myself up for success for the future is going to be really crucial to you. And one of the elements in there is content organization and file organization. Big deal. I didn't really dive into that in the beginning, and I did kind of feel that pain later on, and I had to dig into it. So the whole guide is essentially set up to help you guys navigate all the steps needed to go through starting up a podcast and getting it off the ground. And then also to make it as seamless as possible for you. You'll see that theme throughout the guide as well. I really wanted any platform that I could use that would make it easier for me to get my podcast out into the world, was what I was going to go for. I did not want something that was overly complex. What you will find is that the more complex you make the process, the less likely you are going to want to actually do it. Podcasting can be as simple or complex as you make it. So we really want to lean more towards the simple side when you're starting so that it doesn't feel too overwhelming. There were many times in the beginning where I was like, this is too much and this is too many steps, or it's a little bit too cumbersome. For those of you who are podcast listeners of mine, you already know this information, but level setting with everybody. I have 3 young children. I started the podcast with my cousin about a year ago, or a little over a year ago was when we started the brainstorming of it. And my kids were 6 and 7 at the time, or about 6 or 5 and 6 at the time. And, I have a full-time job and obviously a mom. Like there's lots of things in the mix there. And up front, it was, why are you doing this? This is going to take up more of your time. And then on top of it, it was like, can you even do this? Like, are you even able to do this? Can you fit this into your time? Or do you even have the knowledge for this? I do. I have the baseline information there. I do work in broadcasting for my daytime job. So I had some overview of what needed to happen. That it's these really minutiae steps that I wanted to help people with. And then on top of that, it's more of the prioritization of it. Podcasting is the wave of the now. It is the wave of the future. This is a media to get in on. How many of you have also had the FOMO moment where you're looking at a content creator online or on YouTube and you're like, they have millions of followers. Like I could be doing what they're doing. Well, guess what? You purchased this guide. You're about to do what they're doing. Podcasting to get started, you have to remain consistent. That's going to be a key element, and you'll see that in the guide as well. And then it's going to be a matter of, like, as I mentioned, keeping it simple. thousands of podcasts are launched monthly, that number is significantly high because there are a lot of people that really do want to do it. But the problem is it gets too complex too fast for folks. They make it too complex. It does not have to be that way. So you can actually find a way to weave podcasting into your everyday life. You're not really going to feel it. You don't feel that strain anymore. Now it's such a part of my routine. I don't even think twice about it. I'm able to really just seamlessly weave it into things. So I really want that to be there for you as well. For those of you who purchased the VIP package of the guide, you'll get some great one-on-one sessions with me. I like to call them podcast accountability calls. Sometimes it's just nice to have that extra little touch point with someone to talk through what you're going through. I have podcast colleagues now that I chat with, and I'm like, when I need a little bit of a boost, and I'll message people and say like, hey, like, let's just hop on the line. I'm feeling a little stale. Those moments are really what's going to help you move forward. For those of you who haven't purchased the VIP package, that's totally fine too. There are going to be video modules throughout the guide that are meant to really help guide you through the process. And I'm going to give you as many thoughts as I can to really help guide you through this. There's always opportunity to work with me one-on-one as well. You can always book a session with me one-on-one ad hoc and just see where it goes from there. I really want to be here with you guys through this process. I am so excited for you all to join me in this podcasting world. There is so much space here for all of us really to grow and do what we want to do here and make it what you want to make it. That's the big key takeaway here. This is going to be whatever you put into it. This is going to be as successful as you want it to be, but you have to be the one to be putting things into it. And I'm going to be here with you every step of the way. So I hope you enjoy the guide. I really hope you love the modules. And I really look forward to hearing about your podcasts and hearing about how everything is going. Until we meet again, take care.